Good afternoon to all of you. Is actually COVID-19 pandemic situation had a great effect in the education sector globally, and our country was also equally affected. And in Sikkim, uh, in 2020, since March 17, government has taken the decision to close down all the educational institutions in order to protect the children from the infection of the COVID-19 virus. So keeping in mind that since at the beginning, just for the month of March, April, and even in the up to second week of the May, the department and every people, all officials who are involved in the education sectors and other stakeholders were also thinking what is to be done for the continuation of the education of the children. Teaching learning process was completely affected during that time. And in our state, especially in East District, because in Sikkim, we are the district authority, and the district authorities have to take the direction, instructions, whatever circulars, notification issued by the headquarter. So, on their direction, uh, some of the schools at their own level has started teaching children by sending teachers to the home of the primary children, especially at the beginning. And even some schools have started online classes at their own level. And later on, by May, the government and the education department has taken the decision to start online classes. So for that purpose, one data was collected, keeping in mind the accessibility and network connectivity of the children. So that data was collected at the initial stage, that what is the percentage of children who have accessibility of the latest technology, whether they have the Android phone, whether their parents are able to afford Android phones or not. So many issues came at the initial stage. And by end of May, the government has taken the decision that let's start the online classes through different digital divide. So at that very moment, initially there was a great problem because even the students were not in familiar with the teaching learning through online. Number one. Secondly, even the teachers were also facing lots of difficulties. How to prepare the content, how to upload the videos, how they can reach to the children. So many issues come at that very time. And then after, there were the also issues that Sikkim being a hilly state, there are some areas where the network connectivity was very poor, is very poor still today. So, and not only that, some children are staying in isolated areas because of the terrain. Reaching to their children is also very difficult. Besides that, there were some children who were not traced because of the pandemic. So many children have migrated outside also to their native place. So lots of problems have been arise, but slowly, the government took the initiatives, and even in our state, there are several ways which have been adopted for continuation of the teaching learning process. For example, for uh, maximum percent of the child in online were covered by through WhatsApp, and Google Meet were also organized. Even for seminar, webinars were also organized for the senior students. And not only that, even Sambat television is there in Gantok. Through that also teaching learning have been taken place. Then some through radio also, because the lessons were taught through radio also, because some of the teachers were asked to prepare the content and they go to the radio station, record it, and through that also the teaching learning have been continued. And then later on, by end of June, in July, one concept we have developed in our state, that is the if child is not able to come to the school because the school were closed, if child is not able to come to the school, why not the school can go to the children's home? That is the concept. And so that is why it was conceptualized, and it was considered as a home schooling. So the concept of homeschooling, literally, it means that the children have to get education at their home. But in broader sense, homeschooling means the school is to be taken to the home of the child, either through WhatsApp, either through Google Meet, either through uh, radio talk, or the students can called by the teacher at their own residence, or teacher can to go to the home of the children's, or some children were collected at their relatives house or somewhere in an open space. So through that way, education, especially at the elementary stage, was started. Especially the focus was given to the elementary stages, because there were the small children who were not having that all facility. And besides that, there was also a problem, especially because the all parents are not in that position to provide Android phone to the child. So because of that also, they were deprived of the education. In order to cover that areas, so that homeschooling concept have been developed in our state. So these were the different ways which have been undertaken in our state to provide learn continuation of the teaching learning. Like ZIIEI, ZIIEI is one of the program. If we go to the full form of that, it itself speaks that the zero investment innovation for education purpose. And this initiative, which is taken by Aurobindo Society in collaboration with SDFC Bank, is has done a wonderful job in our district, not only in our district, throughout the state of Sikkim, because it was started in 2017, if I am not wrong. And since that time, uh, during the time before the pandemic, the coordinators who were assigned these works for the state of Sikkim has visited almost all the blocks of the state, and especially in east districts also they have visited all blocks. They were in close contact with the block level officials and the district level officials, and the teachers were given orientation regarding innovative practices, new ideas, new technology adopted in the teaching learning process, to understand the socio-economic background of the child. So many things were covered during the orientation course. And by the way, the teachers were motivated, encouraged to apply their ideas for the development of the children's educations. So it was continued in 2018 and 19 also successfully. And we are very much thankful to Arvind Society also, because every year they have given share the platform at the national level for the recognition of our teachers who have done a wonderful job in the development of education. And then in 2020, because prior to that I joined in East District in 2019 November. And then after last year also, so many teachers were recognized at the national level. It was a great job, and teachers were motivated greatly. And prior to that, the selection criteria for identification of best teachers for nomination at the state and the national level is a wonderful idea, because myself have got an opportunity to visit some of the places where the selected teachers have displayed their teaching learning materials, whatever they have prepared at their schools, under the guidance of the and guidance and the objectives of the Arvindo Society under zero investment for education is theirs. So at that very time, I have visited some blocks And there, when the teachers were displaying their teaching learning materials, it was really give a very motivating experience to myself also, because they have done a lots of work. They have almost prepared such a TLM, which was a low cost, local in nature, and the TLM which was prepared was based on the application part of the content, because what is the uses whatever they are learning in the school in their day-to-day life, that has been focused. Because in mathematics, because the peoples are not motivated, especially there is, even among the children there is a phobia of mathematics. But that mathematics, how to apply in their day-to-day life, how mathematics learning is to be enjoyable learning, how mathematics is to made learning without any burden, scientific temperament, how it is to be developed among the child, social background, how much it is essential. So all these learning as materials are connected with their day-to-day life. Such type of materials were prepared by the teachers, and it was well displayed, and really that gives the teachers a great encouragement. And the initiative of the Arvindo Society in respect of developing and educating our children is really great. And from East districts, we are really grateful. Actually, in our state Sikkim, there was earlier practices, even today it is theirs, that there is a practice of school complex. That was the practice in our state in earlier days. And school complex means some senior secondary or secondary schools is identified as a hub of some of the schools which are around that areas. So the main motive behind the identification of some of the schools as complex was to enhance the learning atmosphere in all the schools of that surrounding. Because there are some schools who are secondary schools, who are senior secondary schools, who are primary schools, who are junior high schools, and the students who are learning, studying in the primary schools, and the teachers who are working in that schools have a limited atmosphere, because only 4 or 5 people are working in that schools. They did not get that opportunity, that accessibility, whatever is available in the senior secondary schools. So the main idea behind is that if one hub center is created, then I weekly or bi-monthly, monthly, they can organize some of the coordination meetings. Suppose sometimes, say for example, teachers of social science can get together and share the ideas of all the schools, whatever experiences they have. Sometimes mathematics teachers, sometimes general science teachers, and not only that, even sometimes the children of primary schools can visit to the schools of the senior secondary schools to see the learning atmosphere, how classroom teaching is going on in that very schools. So it is a type of sharing of experiences, and that way it's a type of exposure trip also for the schools. And this way, another important things which can develop through that way is that the teacher of having good subject background, subject expertise, can guide the teachers who are teaching in the areas who is not competent enough. So that it indirectly enhance the teaching learning process. And the initiatives which is going to be taken by Arvindo Society regarding project-based learning, activity-based learning, playway methods of learning, if that methodology is adopted, surely, definitely, it will a great uh, boon to our children who are living, especially in the isolated areas. So, then naturally, it will be a very good idea, and whatever the whoever have conceptualized, if the students are nominated through competitive examination, entrance, or some selection criteria is naturally it will be theirs. And those schools, those students who get this opportunity, and if they get that amount of scholarship, which can help them to motivate more other students also, number one. And secondly, if uh, suppose if scholarship is provided, then the other students who are not devoting their time in learning, they will also be encouraged, because with the hope that I will also get the scholarship, number one. And secondly, uh, because of that scholarship, they became able to devote more time for their studies. And if the studies is they are giving more time, naturally their nature of competitiveness will develop in the long run. And if competition developed, learning will go in a smooth manner. And if learning goes, a person or the child who are at that stage will become a very good persons in the coming days. So directly it will help in creating of good human resource for the country in the coming days, number one. Number two, that along with that, the objective of the Aurobindo Society, when I have gone through it, is equally giving thrust towards the developing of the moral values, because the value education is very important. And for value education, if the child is able to learn some of the sanskars which we follow in every society to become a good human being of tomorrow. Otherwise, our children of today are more competent in their academic areas, but socially they are not being able to socialize themselves. So that is also became a great problem in the coming days. So if we provide them through different ways of learning, spiritual and the material education, if it is balanced, really our society will be a very good society in the coming days. Otherwise, the society which we are going to give to our children will itself become a great problem for these to live in a very peaceful manner, because the peace of mind is very important for a person to become a successful person also. So that is why good human being is to be created through the system of educations which.
Hello, good morning. I'm Ladin Lipcha here today to present a short video regarding the webinar I attended, which was conducted by Sri Aurobindo Society, ZIIEI, with the support from HDFC Bank. My qualification is BA B.Ed and working as a primary teacher for the last 18 years. I belongs from Jammu, North District of the state Sikkim. Jammu is a Lepcha tribal reserve area which was granted to the Lepcha community by the then king of Sikkim. This provision was given specially for the protection and upliftment of the Lepcha community. Anyone who wants to visit Jammu can visit with a valid permit obtained from the magistrate office. My school name is Government Primary School Pentong, Upper Zongu, North Sikkim. The total number of students enrolled in my school is 18. The problem I am facing in my school is lack of awareness among the parents. The school I am working is located in one of the most remotest area of North Sikkim. There is no road connectivity and one has to walk by foot for about 1.5 hours to reach the school. Parents are not that much aware of their children's education as most of the parents are uneducated. Due to this reason, children are not being guided properly at home after the school. Children show less interest in learning. So, with the help of SMC and Panchayats, we started residential school in the year 2013, where all the students from grade 1 to 5 are made compulsory residential students. From the webinars I have attended so far, I've learned many things. I learned about ZIIEI's innovative ideas, online classes, innovative Pathshala curriculum tools, IPCT, etc. All these things are unknown to me before the webinar. I've also come to know about various forms of online classes like Google Meet, Facebook Live, etc. I've also learned about innovative ideas like family tree, theme-based attendance, who am I game, cheat game, experiential homework, wrong chat method, concept mapping, and Auro Scholar. So, when I have to talk about our one and only trainer, Mr. Sayandeep Som, he's really great, innovative, knowledgeable, supportive, helpful at all times. He shared with us so many innovative ideas and concepts which helped us to get many innovative ideas. The ideas which he shared with us is really amazing and helpful, which will ultimately benefits to our children. I think IPCT or Innovative Pathshala curriculum tool is one of the important components among all the webinars. This is very new thing for me. I have never known before about IPCT. It is very important and helpful tool to the teachers. Through this IPCT, I come to know about various ZIIEI ideas. Teaching learning is not limited to classroom and textbook only. It is beyond the classroom and textbook. Teaching learning can take place outside the classroom also. We can create so many innovative ideas for teaching learning process with zero investment or less investment. We can make TLM from the waste materials also. IPCT helps the teacher to create ideas about how to make the class joyful, learning by doing, experiential learning, etc. I think my school should be selected as one of the role model school of my district because despite of many problems faced by our school, we are trying our level best to apply what we have learned during the entire webinar session. After applying some of the innovative ideas that were discussed in the webinar, like family tree, experiential homework or experiential learning, number game, who am I game, cheat game, theme based attendance, etc., we have seen some improvements among the students. Students started showing interest in learning. Since our school is already running a residential school, and if my school is selected as a role model school of my district, I think it will add one more feather to my school and become a source of motivation to the students as well as to the parents and the teachers as a whole. Lastly, I, on behalf of Education Department, parents and teachers of North District, would like to thank Sri Aurobindo Society, ZIIEI and HDFC Bank for providing us such opportunities to attend webinars. This is first of its kind that we have been provided an opportunity to attend webinar through Google Meet. Last but not the least, I would like to convey my personal thanks from the bottom of my heart to our one and only trainer, Mr. Sayandeep Som, for providing us many innovative ideas. Without his support and presence, this training would not be possible. His excellent in his own field. He is supportive, helpful, knowledgeable, generous during the entire webinar. I will promise you that your hard work and dedication will not go in vain. We will try to implement whatever you have shared with us during this long period of webinar. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Pusparani Laishram. I have completed my Masters and also MPhil in History subject. I have also completed B.Ed and also done DLEd, which is Diploma in Elementary Education. I have a work experience of 11 years. Regarding my district, I belong to Imphal East district and the name of my state is Manipur. You must have all heard about Manipur. We have a rich historical background. It dates back up to 33 AD, which shows that we have a rich history. Regarding my school, the name of my school is Eastern Ideal High School. It is situated at Akampat in Imphal East district. Then the strength of my student is around 250. We, the teachers of my schools, face a lot of problems while teaching my students because most of the students belong to the poverty line, below poverty line, and besides that, around 25% of them come from broken families. So they have their own personal issues, so they were unable to concentrate in their studies also. So we have faced a lot of problems while tackling with them. Then during this pandemic, this Ziiei training occurred, and it helps us, it gives us a lot of benefit during this training. Our trainer, Mr. Sayandip Song, he is a very well-trained trainer, I should say, because he helped us a lot in during this training. Whenever there is a problem, we used to discuss him personally. Even he always attend our calls, and then he even texts us when there is any webinar. He used to remind us again and again about these webinars. So Mr. Sandip Som, with him we discuss about this different topics like the topics like about family trees, then about making family trees, how it can be useful to the students, and about pictographic representations, and then about NEP 2020. Then we also discuss about Bloom's taxonomy and its application. Besides that, we have a very thorough training about this concept mapping also. Then we also learn about this role play while then experimental work, homework given to the students. We also discuss about these areas in our webinars with Mr. Sayandip Song. Then we came across this innovative Pathshala app. We never heard of this innovative Pathshala app before, but during these webinars, during the webinars that we attended, Mr. Sandip Som introduced this innovative Pathshala app, and this Pathshala app is very useful to us as a teacher. Then I really think, in my opinion, my school can be a role model in my district, not only in my district but also in my state, because we have a lot of enthusiastic teachers, and besides that, all the students are also hardworking and most of them are very bright students. So in a way, my school can be a role model. Last but not least, I would like to thank Sri Aurobindo Society and Ziiei and also HDFC Bank, and besides above all this, Mr. Sayandip Som for his effort to enlighten us in various areas. Thank you for watching.
Hello everyone, my name is Robin Chetri. My qualification is 12 pass and diploma in elementary education. Also, I am pursuing my graduation from distance education. I am from Gejing, West Sikkim. Gejing is a beautiful place. It is located at an altitude of 6,500 feet above the sea level. In our district, you can find the oldest monasteries and temple. Here, you can find rhododendron sanctuary, which is very beautiful and attractive for local people and tourists. One of the sacred lake of Sikkim is also found in West District, which is commonly known as Khacheperi Lake. Another landmark of West District is Mount Kanchenjunga, the third highest mountain in the world. Every year, thousands of tourists used to visit in our district. I can say that West District is very beautiful and attractive for visitors. If you ever get a chance to visit Sikkim, don't forget to visit West District. Let me talk about my school and some problems which I used to face during school hour. My school name is Government Primary School, Malbase, Gejing, West Sikkim, and the total number of students is 30. Malmase is a small village, and all my students are belonging from rural and remote area. We can see that the most of the guardians are uneducated. There is no road connection and even there is no proper footpath to reach the school. It takes 30 to 40 minutes to reach the school. The main problem we faced in school is that they are not much aware with present generation. Sometimes my students shows the lack lack of interest in study, so it's very challenging for us to give a proper knowledge and education to those students. From JEI EI training, I got chance to learn new age of teaching techniques. From this training, I learned how to implement such an activities towards the students. I improved my teaching process and I learned new ideas from others trainer during the online seminar. Sri Soindeep sir teach us very perfectly. He teaches us that how can we improve learning outcomes of the students without investment any money. He teaches us the new way to make family tree, concept mapping, theme based attendance, and many more. He also introduced IPCT apps, which means Innovative Parsala Curriculum Tools, which is very useful and helpful for students and teachers too. For this application, my students is getting new ideas and interest in study. Now, as compared with earlier, my students are showing more interest and curiosity on study. They are actively participating in all activities. My school can be selected as a role model school of the district because my students always shows the effort and they actively participating in all the activities. They all are belonging from rural and remote area, but their learning curiosity and hard works really admirable, and this will be inspiration to others. Lastly, I would like to give thanks to Sri Aurobindo Society, ZIIEI and SDFC Bank for providing such a innovative training for us. The online training is going very fruitful. My heartfelt thanks goes to our trainer Sri Soindeep Som sir. His effort is really admirable. So thank you Sri Aurobindo Society for providing such an energetic and experienced teacher for us. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Tungra Mili and I'm BEd in Hindi. I have 8 years of experience in teaching. I belong to Imphal East district in Manipur. In my district, Imphal East has a very rich cultural heritage as well as historically also. It has a very significant past or history. For example, we have many great, there were many great heroes and we have many significant places that reminds of our glorious past. I teach in Wangkai High School, Wangkai. It is in the Imphal East district. We have classes from 6 to 10. Altogether, 461 students are enrolled in our school. The students are from rural as well as from urban background. Our students are mostly from the backward classes. I teach Hindi in school. As Manipur is a non-Hindi speaking region, it's very difficult or I face a lot of difficulty in bringing the best of the learning outcome of my students because they feel bored in learning Hindi. They don't take Hindi as a very interesting language. They think that they just want to get pass mark to be promoted to next class because Hindi is compulsory up to class 8. I have so many innovative ideas to implement. I have used so many techniques that I could to my students, but I think I got the result. But I think it was not to the best level as I desired or wanted. But after attending this JEI webinars, these sessions have benefited me a lot. Because after attending these webinars, I could bring the best learning outcome of my children. Our trainer, Mr. Sayandeep, has done a great job. He's a great motivator. He has given wings to our innovative ideas. Whatever we have in our mind, we discussed with him in our webinars, and he has given more initiative to whatever we want or whatever we could do. After in this pandemic situation, where we could not keep close touch with our students, after attending this webinar, we have created WhatsApp group of each class, and now we are sending or uploading the learning material to our students, giving them assignments, then checking their assignments, and we are having a close contact even with their parents. Through these webinars, we have come to know that how could we can keep an eye on our students through this WhatsApp groups and all. And for example, I have given them an assignment in which they were to draw a family tree. In that family, and after drawing the family tree, they have to paste or draw the pictures of their family, for example, their grandparents, their parents, their uncles, their siblings, etc. And they have to write the names. So what happened that after drawing this or writing the name, they have come to learn their relations with them. What do we call the father of our father, that is grandfather, and what is it called in Hindi? For example, Dadaji. If it is sister, then it's Behan. If it is uncle, then it can be Chachaji or Tauzi, etc. Not only this, now we give them assignments on which they have to submit the assignment, and it has been checked by their fellow students. In this way, the webinars have benefited me a lot, and I must thank it to the Ziiei group and special to Mr. Sayandip, our trainer. I think our school should be included as a role model of Imphal East District, because it's not only me who is working hard or applying all these pedagogies or innovative ideas to bring out the best of the children, but our whole staff is doing the same. They all are having or trying their level best to bring the learning outcome by doing all these experimental works on children. We are having staff discussions very frequently. It has been headed by our headmistress, and in this staff meetings, we used to discuss how we can make up whatever the children has lost in this 3-4 months from March to July, August. So we are trying our level best from our side, from our school side, from our staff side, so that children does not feel or take the loss of study in this pandemic situation. All thanks to Ziiei and Mr. Sayandip, our trainer. Thank you.
Dear friends, I am Jigurson Tauthang, graduate teacher serving under the Department of Education as Government of Manipur. I have completed my master's degree in history honors and also completed Bachelor of Education under Manipur University. I have been serving as an assistant teacher for the last 18 years. And the name of my district is Chandir in the state of Manipur. One historical significance of my district is that there is a popular cave locally known as Machi Cave, located at Machi village. The early men used to live in this cave during the ancient period. My school name is Hau Khongching Upper Primary School, located at Hau Khongching village under Cycle block of Kangpopi district. The total number of students enrolled in the school is approximately 35 students in 2020. The school faced many problems in different areas, such as lack of school infrastructure, shortage of desks, benches, blackboards, dusters, charts, chalks, etc. There is also a lack of water because it is drawn from the hill stream, which is very far from the school. And electricity is also nil in the school as it is located in the hill area. Therefore, it is difficult to connect electricity to the school. The school has no playground of its own. Students used to play at the veranda of the school or inside the class during the recess, all before the school begins. Sometimes they used to play around the school, which is a slope area. During the summer season, the children feel very hot inside the class as there are no fans due to connectivity of electricity in the school. And another problem is that the students are poor in reading skill, correct pronunciation of words, dictation, use of punctuation, etc. Because most of the students come from below poverty line families who could not avail proper educational facilities in their previous years. They have very low level of previous knowledge for their grade and age. Zero investment innovative for education initiatives. Ziiei training has given me a lot of benefits and experiences. Now I have the knowledge, idea of teaching the students through online classes during the COVID-19 pandemic situation. Yes, I agree that my trainer has been very much supportive to me. He has taught me many ideas, knowledge, and suggestions about how to teach and guide the students, especially during the pandemic situation. The innovative Pathshala training has given me the idea on how to teach the students in an innovative or proper way. An example of this training is the use of family tree to help the students to develop their reasoning ability, which is a crucial life skill that they would utilize later in their life. For a role model school, I would like to choose my own school, Hau Khong Ching Upper Primary School. There are many reasons why I choose my own school. Firstly, the headmistress of the school and her family provide service of the school-going children who reside in other villages in order to ensure that all these children have access to free and compulsory education under RTE Act 2009. And secondly, the chief of the village had donated a certain area of his land for the construction of the school building. Therefore, I faithfully respect them for their selfless support, love, and care for children and educational facility in their village. I would like to give my special thanks and credit to Sri Aurobindo Society, Zero Investment Innovation for Education Initiatives, Ziiei, and HDFC Bank for their immense support and conducting the Ziiei training successfully. Lastly, I request you to please like and share this video and subscribe this channel. I warmly wish you all a happy and prosperous New Year 2021 cùng thạ chế vi. Thank you all.
To begin with, it's been a year since I took over as Additional Director West. And ever since I took over, the first thing we did was we went for a baseline achievement study. Uh, right from classes 3 to classes 9, we went for a baseline achievement study. And the focus was mainly on mathematics, English, and social sciences. And on the basis of baseline, the baseline education survey studies, the gaps we identified, we incorporated the same in our teaching modules. And then subsequently, we trained teachers in mathematics and English and in social science in various blocks, in all the 10 blocks of this district to begin with. The second thing, which has been a game changer, so to speak, was that since West District has been incorporated in the Aspinall District, we were very lucky in the sense that the district magistrate, uh, with the district magistrate's help, we've been able to uh, provide 29 schools, 29 senior secondary schools with smart classes, in fact, with virtual classes, with WiMAX installation, so much so that uh, we did not go for uh, video conferences as such, but then by and large, when there was teacher shortages, we did explore ways and means so that courses with the lessons were imparted through virtual classrooms. And then now we are going to scale this up to subsequently, we're going to scale this up to we are going to include another 34 secondary schools and subsequently of 40 schools. By and large, we're going to cover 103 schools altogether. So this way, when we do that, even the absence of teachers, whether it's mathematics or English or whatever, we can request some learned erudite scholar from this district itself, and then we can transact the lessons accordingly. So this way, even if there's an absence of teachers, and even if school heads are not there, we will be able to overcome a lot of academic hiccups and gaps according through this. Then, of course, during the COVID, it was difficult, as you are aware, madam. It was difficult, but nonetheless, I had this wonderful band of 229 school heads who left no stone unturned in discharging duties, be it through online classes, or be it through homeschooling, or be it through WhatsApp, or through radio talks, or even by going to uh, homes of the children. They were able to impart education, and none of the children, even notwithstanding the COVID, were deprived of education, to speak of, madam. So this, in a nutshell, is was the thing. And then, of course, we ensured that food grains under midday meal scheme also was not uninterrupted. We ensured that we distributed raw food grains as such. And then for national education programs, for national education policy, we went in for a consultative meeting in all the blocks of the district. And by and large, a lot of stakeholders were made aware of the NEP 2020 matter. So this, in a nutshell, was in brief of what we undertook during the COVID time, and after I took over, madam. And now to begin, now what we are planning, what you're contemplating during the 2021 session is, first thing what we want to do is we want to further uh, we want to further enhance this consultative meeting on NAP and ensure as maximum coverage as possible. The second thing is that we have, I would say, not dormant, but not as active as SMCs. SMCs are not so active. So our priority will be to leverage. Our priority would be, in fact, to enhance the uh, active to activate the SMC's working. And more importantly, our emphasis will be on teachers training during the year 2020. And then most importantly will be in enhancing learning outcomes, particularly in all classes, particularly in subjects like mathematics and English and EVS, with emphasis on foundation learning matter. So this in a nutshell is what we did and what we propose to do. And of course, with the help of District Magistrate West, we want to undertake a leadership program of school heads. Probably during the first week of April, we, during the first 15 days of April, this is in the pipeline, madam. So this, and then subsequently, of course, the thing is always there. Infrastructure level development is always there. So this, by and large, as I said earlier, leadership uh, activation of SMC, leadership training of school heads, uh, enhancement of learning outcomes, and embracing technology in a big way so that children will gain meaningfully. In fact, what we basically want is we want our children to experience an unparalleled education journey, which is not only intellectual or educationally, uh, but even personally transforming. And then we want technology to leverage this forward. And then, as you said, under we want to seek your assistance, like we've always seek our Buddhist assistance. We want to recognize the innovative ideas through zero investment. We want to motivate and identify uh, school heads. In fact, under Aspinall district, we have seven schools, seven pioneer schools who be doing outstanding work in the field of academic advancement. And then we did a webinar on this also. A very important thing I just forgot to mention. We did a webinar. It was practically for the whole day where the seven schools they shared their best practices among schools. And during the year 2021, these seven pioneer schools will be sharing another video, will be sharing another webinar. Or if there's a lift in the COVID, if there's a lift in COVID restrictions, then we are going to go for a offline kind of interaction, madam. So this in a nutshell is what we have in the pipeline for 2021. It's a great idea. It's spot on, and it's the way forward, madam. Here, what I want to say is that uh, what I want to say basically is that it is yet to take off fully. I cannot say that I cannot say that it has not been done. It is yet to take off fully. By and large, school heads are doing a wonderful job in this. Respected, our teachers are doing a wonderful in this, but there's a lot of motivation, there's a lot of identification, there's a lot of recognition of innovative ideas. With has taken a great stand in this. We are thrilled with this, but then it is yet to take off fully. Because of reasons you're well aware, madam, especially after COVID and schools were locked over for a pretty considerable time. But now, after the exams are over and then the new session starts from the 15th of February, I will take this ahead personally, and I'll ensure that all these initiatives will fall into place, and then eventually, it is the students who will gain. That is what I have in mind, madam. I will ensure that I leverage this further and then share it all the other members of the teaching fraternity, and more so, as you said, madam, I want to felicitate some outstanding headmasters here. So, in fact, the government of Sikkim the other day, the Honorable Chief Minister said he's going to identify outstanding principals and outstanding headmasters of secondary schools and then send them abroad, be it Singapore or UK, Oxford also. That was what he was stating in this speech here. And subsequently, he's going to select headmasters who are innovative and full of ideas and zest and zeal and enthusiasm, and who can really make a difference. And he's going to send them to places of excellence within the country. I'm in the identification process. As I said earlier, whatever activities we undertake, our children should gain meaningfully. That is my idea, madam. And the attempts are the teaching members of the teaching fraternity are doing a wonderful job. The more things they're going to share with us during the coming week, next few months, I'm going to share with all the members of the Audubon Society also. It's a great initiative. I was always in for it. In fact, just to add on, Just to add on, the other day I was discussing this with my additional chief secretary in charge of the department, and then with the district magistrate West District, who's the head of the aspirant district, and we came up with the idea of identifying 11 model schools in the entire district. In the 11 model schools, we want to amalgamate the feeder schools which have enrollment less than 20 students or less than 10 students to that model school, so that we will be able to give them hostel facilities. If not hostel facilities, we will give them the finest teaching whatsoever possible. And then we've made a proposal to the Niti Aayog for procurement of buses to ferry the students and the teachers from the feeder schools. We want to attach them to the model schools. So when we do that, there will be no issue of teacher absenteeism. There will be no issues of teacher shortage, and then competent teachers will be able to handle these students. And I'm sure at the end of the day, this will be a very, very meaningful experience for the students. As I said earlier, our basic idea is to ensure that the students embark on a journey that is unparalleled education journey that is not only intellectually, educationally, or personally transforming, but transforming holistically as a whole. That is my idea. So probably if this model school thing gets along as in sync with whatever Aurobindo Society is proposing, basically the same. So it'll be a win-win situation for our children and for the department as a whole. Madam. It's an excellent program. It's an excellent initiative. In a scale of 1:10, I'll give it 10 upon 10, madam. I'll give it a 10 upon 10. The fact is that in West Sikkim, most of the children coming to schools are from below poverty line children. 10 rupees or 100 rupees is a big, big amount, and 1,000 is a very big amount. It's going to make a hell of a lot of difference, madam, if I have to use that word. It's a very big, and this initiative is fantastic. And then more important is that they will be having exposure. They will be having exposure to the world at large also. This is another step in the right direction. I'm all for it. A big thumbs up from me, madam. Well, teachers, they're smarter than me. They're smarter than me. They are more knowledgeable than me. But notwithstanding this fact, since you requested me for a message, I've got 5-6 messages. One thing is that they have to believe in themselves. One is they have to believe in themselves. How do they believe? Believing themselves means being confident. And to be confident, the teachers will have to work very, very hard. That is one. The other thing is that they'll have to think very big. Our teachers, by and large, I don't know about teachers in the other states of the country, they don't think big. And that message has to percolate down to the students. They'll have to think big. The third thing is the word should be replaced by the word will. Instead of saying, I should have done this for my students, I will do this for my students. That is the fourth thing. The fifth thing is never underestimate your students, never underestimate your colleagues, because they have what you call native wisdom, or they have this knowledge which may be untapped. Then the last thing is giving back to society. Giving back to society in terms of working as a team, in terms of going for remedial teaching, in terms of inculcating discipline, in terms of fulfilling the initiatives initiated by Aurobindo Society, or fulfilling the goals and policies that the department envisages from time to time, madam. That's it, madam. Thank you very much.